I turned 30. And I flipped out. I realized I had spent my entire life in Ohio. I took it really, really hard. And the people said to me then, and they still say to me now, age is just a number. All right, fine. Then your weight is just a number. Your height is just a number. Your credit score is just a number. Your cholesterol is a number. Your blood pressure, those are just numbers, right? But numbers have value, which implies they have meaning. They mean something. Like, doesn't it already feel like this year has moved so fast? It's shorter than any year so far, right? Well, there's some math to that. I'm gonna break it down, all right? My son, I have a son, by the way. My son is turning 2 years old. I know. He's turning 2 years old, so this next year of his life is 50% of it, right? 1/2, 50% of his life, it's gonna feel really long to him. This next year, I'm almost 50. I know, black don't crack, brown don't frown, that's what I'm saying. So this next year is 2% of my life. So to me, it's gonna feel really short, to him, it's gonna feel really long. And the only reason I tell you that is to depress the hell out of everyone in the room. No, I say it because I want people to stop saying age is just a number. It's crap. In fact, toilet paper is a very good analogy, in fact, because when you sit down and check to see how much toilet paper is left, hopefully in the reverse order, you check, and then you sit down. When you think half of the roll is left, there's actually less than half left because of the way that circumference works. Think about it, right? There's more on the outside than there is on the inside, like people in LA. So my analogy is that life is like toilet paper. The less that's left, the faster it goes. I'm not sure when this turned into a TED Talk. But that's okay. I turned 30, I flipped out, and I moved to California, moved to Los Angeles, specifically to be a full-time comedian and an actor. I am an actor. Although you haven't, yeah, sure, no, thank you. You haven't seen me in anything, so I'm like an auditioner. Actually booked a very weird role recently. On Netflix, there's a show called Indian Matchmaking. Some of you will know this show, and not only the brown people, a lot of people know this show, they're watching it. They now have Jewish matchmaking, they're expanding it into a franchise. And if you don't know the show, or even if you do, it's about Indian matchmaking. It's a very coy title. So I actually do the audio description for the show. Some of you will not know what that is. I will explain. If you go in Netflix into settings and turn on audio description, I know it's hard to say, Mom, I made it, when you have to tell them to go into the settings. But it's for the seeing impaired. It helps them hear what's going on. You narrate the show. It's really kind of a crazy thing. It's kind of cool to be able to do this. I don't know. It's the role that I was able to book. But that show cracks me up. Indian Matchmaking cracks me up. If you've seen it, or even if you haven't, the star of the show is someone named Sima Aunty. And what her job is to connect South Asians together romantically, and she is right about 0% of the time. That's a strange premise for a show. It'd be like turning on SportsCenter. Here's all the shots Steph Curry missed last night. I don't want to see that. I want to see my boy traded from 10 feet behind the three-point line. It's crazy. But she'll say that stuff. She'll criticize, especially the women. She's a little sexist. Sima Aunty. She will say to the women, "Mia beti, you have too many criterias." She takes this word criteria and she makes it even more plural. To show you how single you are. It's true that she'll say to them, she'll go, you know, you get 60, 70% of what you're looking for, it's okay. Really, Auntie? When's the last time I could bring home a 60, 70% on a math test? I find out that there's a group of people, API, this is a bunch of South Asian doctors, but they don't call it SAD, because they're happy, they make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. I think my doctor's here tonight. They make a lot of money, I'm telling you. What kind of medicine? Internal medicine. Isn't it all internal medicine? Unless you're a dermatologist, it's all internal medicine. And I remember saying something about how they make the least amount of money, sorry. But then I had a pediatrician come up to me, and she's like, actually, we make less money. I'm like, well, your patients are... They should make less. It's like operation. I mean, come on. I find out that this group, Oppie, is setting sail from South America to Antarctica. Boom. I'm hitching a ride with these fools. I'm going to do it. I don't care if I'm pre-med for 2 years. I'm going to sleep in the hold of the ship like Leo DiCaprio. I'm in. Okay, I'm going to do it. I hitch a ride. I take my college roommate along with me, and we fly down to Buenos Aires. I've been in Buenos Aires for 45 minutes, and I realized I really screwed up by not being born Latino. So close. The laid-back vibe, the beautiful people, the delicious food, it was incredible. I do this bar gig, it goes really well. And by the way, how am I getting these bar gigs? It's because when you're a comedian, you're sort of in this society of comedians. Like, you can hook each other up with this stuff. And comedians can be totally racist. We don't care. We have no line. So I hit up every Mexican comedian I knew. I was like, do you know anyone in Venezuela? And then they gave me people in Argentina, and that was it. So, fly down there, do the gig, and it went, well enough that the crowd decides to take me out in Buenos Aires. I don't know if you've been there before, but it was incredible. I always thought Latinos were kidding when they said that they go really late. And everything starts late, goes late. I'm like, they're exaggerating. There's no way. Dinner at 11 p.m., bar at 12 a.m. We try to go to a club at 12:30. It's not open yet. This club opens at 1 a.m. We go for a drink, come back at 1:30. It's a line 50 people deep. We go inside. We dance till 5 in the morning. It's a Wednesday. So I have high hopes for tonight. Hungover, I board the ship for Antarctica. Okay, I get on the ship, I'm gonna do it. The reason my wife did not go on this trip is something called the Drake Passage. Anyone know what that is? The Drake Passage is the roughest seas in the world. It's 600 miles of water where ships can pitch up to 40 feet. My wife was like, no thanks. Rajiv already rocks my world hard enough. Hi, Mom. Hey, you got a son out of it. What do you want? Yes, Naveen. We'll get there. So to even imagine what that's like, 40 feet, are you kidding me? You have to go back to math class and the X, Y, and Z axes, okay? Because you are a point in space, and the ship is rocking back and forth. It is rolling side to side like Axl Rose. By the way, that's where rock and roll comes from. And it's also pitching up and down. So you are a point in space doing this, and the only way to make that even remotely bearable is drugs. They give you something called a scopolamine patch, okay? Scopolamine is a drug. You take it, and it is to cure seasickness. The side effect, I'm not making this up, is nausea. That'd be like if Viagra, the side effect is impotence. Like, are you kidding me? What's the point of that? Literally, like, what is the point of that? Crazy. So we put it on, and then you read the package, and it tells you it is a patch to be put on a non-hairy part of your body. You're ahead of me on this one. Yeah, we're South Asian. Where's it gonna go? Behind the ear it goes, and oh my gosh, scopolamine. Oh, I learned to love the Drake Passage more than, you better find your lovin', you better find your heart. That's a passage by Drake. My British accent's a little better. And we're sailing along with all these Indians who bring along their own chef. South Asians cannot be without our cuisine. I tell you, they put the tikka in Antarctica. I love a good pun. I'm a Punjabi. As we approach the continent, I begin to fret because it turns out they decide to tell us now, no company can promise you a continental landing. What? And they go, it's in the terms and conditions. I go, that's like a Droid or an iPhone. Who reads that stuff? You just scroll to the end and hit I agree. Are you kidding me? They go, no, because the ship goes in, and then because of the water, there's no landing docks. Antarctica's not a country, it's a landmass. So you have to wait for the water to smooth out, and it doesn't always do that. Luckily, our crew consisted mostly of Europeans. And if anybody can figure out how to invade a landmass, they got us onto the actual continent. I performed for some cruise mates and some penguins. It was a cold room. But this brown guy did all right in front of a black and white crowd. By the way, you're not allowed to approach the penguins. They have to come to you. It's like Bumble. And the penguins are very cute, but they're kind of aloof. They kind of don't care that you're there. Then again, anytime anyone desperately traveled thousands of miles to come see me, I kind of blew them off too. We come back through South America, and I miss Christmas with Hersha. I'm really sorry. But I did text her from South America saying, let me know if you want anything from Amazon. I'm on bottom of the world. I don't know what it says about me that I got my stand-up comedy on Antarctica before I got it on late-night TV. But that's how I became the only person in history to perform stand-up comedy on all 7 continents. So I was telling you about how I moved from Cincinnati to LA. That whole thing was a tangent, because I'm a tangent. 2006. I moved to Los Angeles, and I am single. Because I'm a professional comedian. Ain't nobody dating you in this town. If you're broke, man, it's tough. In LA, dating is hard. You hear that all the time. And then people will tell you from other cities, like, dude, dating is hard everywhere. No, LA is a special kind of dating hell. And I'll tell you why. It's because everybody's selling and nobody is buying. There's a surplus of everything. You go to a party, everybody's looking for someone better to talk to. The guy right in front of you is like, subscribe to my newsletter, listen to my podcast, come to my show, and that's just me. I ended up getting really good at talking to women at bars. I spent a lot of time talking to women at bars, and all my male friends, all my man friends are always like, why are you always talking to women at bars? I go, because they're my height. The thing, all my guy friends are 6 feet tall. I got tired of doing this all the time. I wake up the next morning with a crick in my neck. And all these people are like, what, did you get some action last night? Did you go down on a girl? I'm like, no, I went up on a guy. I actually went on to date every race of woman, and I think that's important to do in America, because this is the United States. It's diverse, it's the home of McDonald's, Happy Meals, collect the whole set. Get out there and date, man. You could do that here because that is unique about America. It's true. There are over 200 countries. Most of them have no diverse cities at all. None. And some of them have one. France has Paris. Some of them have 2. Spain has Madrid and Barcelona. The United States has like 10 of them. LA and San Francisco and Miami and New York and Cincinnati, Ohio. Get out there and date, man. Sample, that's the thing. That's what you should do. Because I told a friend of mine that. I go, that is my pet peeve. I don't like areas of land that have all one kind of people. And he goes, so you hate countries? I'm like, that's right. I hate countries and I love mixed people. I love mixed people because they're so hot. It's true, right? And a friend of mine tried to get in on that recently. She goes, oh, I'm mixed. My mom's from Pakistan. My dad's from India. That's not mixed. That's just the British getting pissed off and dividing our country in parts. Can't use that to book more commercials. People are like, oh, my mom's from Vermont. My dad's from New Hampshire. I'm mixed. No, you're super white. That's not a thing. But some of my friends are very specific and very particular about the kind of women they say they date. They say they date only black women, they date only brown women, they date only white women. To me, ladies, you're all beautiful. I mean, the pretty ones. Well, some people say that's mean. I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm kidding. Second of all, I don't make the rules. No, I'm not a chauvinist, but when I go to strip clubs, I don't give the girls dollar bills. I toss them Susan B. Anthony coins for the irony. I actually met my wife on OkCupid. And she is from Austin, Texas. I was in Los Angeles, California. So people want to know, well, then how is that possible? How was she in Texas, you're in California? How'd you guys meet? Well, you might know that you can go into the settings. It's amazing how much my life is dictated by settings. And change the radius of people who are looking for you. It's true. Tip in case you need to know it. 5 miles, 25 miles, 250 miles, desperate. Mine was set to desperate. I was almost 40 and age is not just a number, all right? I was like, let's go. And I'm so proud to tell you that we brought our first child into the world. His name is Naveen, and in Hindi, that means new. So I guess we're gonna have to rename him every year. But it was the only name on which Harsha and I agreed. Because it's hard. Indian male names are hard. Indian male names are like penises. I really only like my own. So Naveen was born in Los Angeles. Well, he was reborn in Los Angeles. And he was born in the year 2021, which makes him a COVID baby. The great thing about having a COVID baby is you know it's yours. Although we had a lot of Amazon deliveries, so who knows? What can Brown do for you? Maybe we found out. I don't know. Because this was during the pandy, the Peej, the pandy, I love my abbreviations. During the pandy, we did our birth classes online. And because we were in there with a bunch of other parents, we learned how stupid the questions are. And it makes you worry about the future of this country. Or the present, because these people are already here having kids. Okay? Somebody asked, they were like, look, this is during the pandemic, okay? So you were allowed only one visitor in the room. Everybody got it? One visitor in the room. It's during the pandemic. They have to be safe. It's California, all that stuff. One visitor in the room. So then people started asking, well, can anyone else come in? No, one person. It kind of helped us out because all 4 grandparents came to stay with us for a short Indian visit of 3 months. A friend of mine asked me, he goes, are you coming to the point where you're ready for them to leave? I'm like, no, don't say that. We're well past that point. 4 grandparents, 3 months, you do the math. I'm Indian, I'll do the math, okay? And the reason is, because I'm Indian, we can't ask them to leave. We're not white. Then my friend Rob, over in Indiana, he was like, his mother-in-law came to stay for a long white visit of 5 days. On Sunday, it snows. And she goes, maybe I'll fly out on Monday. He goes, you're leaving today. I don't care if I have to shovel the runway. You're going. Try saying that to an Indian mother-in-law and see how long you live. So kind of help me out, because God forbid they'd allow 2 visitors in the room. Which grandparent was going to go? That was a reality show I did not want to watch. I'm going, I'm the dad, Amazon deliveries notwithstanding. And so I'm going in. And then people are mad. They're pissed off because their grandparents came to town and they wanted to come in. And so they type and they yell into the computer and they're just like, oh, well, does the doctor count as a visitor? No, the doctor doesn't count. She's at work. She's not just hanging out with us. Do the nurses count? Any nurses here? Any Filipinos or Malayalis? Okay. That's the thing, though. Like, no, of course, they're at work. So just be a smartass. I type in, does the baby count as a visitor? Could you imagine that? But Naveen pops out. Sorry, buddy, you gotta go. One at a time. Oh my God. And then somebody asked a question that I will never get over as long as I live. This guy goes, when do we use the for? Like, what? When do we use the for? And we're as confused as you are right now. When do we use the for? And we finally catch up in the materials and we realize he means, when do we use the IV? Who defaults to Roman numerals? The guy who names the Super Bowls? Like, well, what are you doing? Eventually, we found out that Naveen's blood type is B positive, and as Asian parents, that's the last B plus we let him get. But in this day and age of modern technology, it was great seeing the child develop in the womb. That's a really cool thing because of tech, you get to actually see the child develop. You see the little fingers, little toes, you see the head, you see that spine. And it's great when you see that spine because you know he's not going to be a Republican. Oh, he sleeps a lot too, so he's like Joe Biden. Okay, all right, I could be bipartisan. I'll leave you with this. I do sometimes worry about the world in which Naveen will live. I don't know where he's going to get his information. I feel lost all the time. Where do you get your news? How do you find it? I'm ashamed to admit that I get it from the Brits. All right, from British news. I definitely read and watch British news like the BBC, The Guardian, The Economist, because I told you, we believe anything in that accent. And the thing is, the reality of it is, I don't feel that bad going outside to find out what's going on inside, because it's like when my wife and I go to a party. We're standing around in a circle. You ever do this with your spouse, and a stranger asks your spouse a question? Somebody will ask my wife a question, and whatever my wife says is something I've never heard her say before. I'm like, is that what's going on with her? Who knew? I think the reality is Barack Obama wanted to believe that we live in a post-racial world, right? And the thing is, I listen to Obama a lot because he's half black and half white. I'm neither black nor white. We have that in common. But remember, he would always use that phrase, let me be clear. He'd say that all the time. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. And after all these years, I finally figured out what he meant. I think in this racial world, he's just tired of being a color. Like, dear Lord, I don't want to be black. I don't want to be white. Let me be clear. And I got to clear out. You guys have been a lot of fun. Oh, my God.